So what is subtle yoga? Well, our body is more than just a biological machine. In Vedic philosophy, it's understood as having 5 layers of consciousness, often called the koshas or sheaths. These layers describe different layers or parts of our human experience, from the physical body to the breath, our energy field, to our mind and beyond the mind. So when we are talking about subtle yoga, the first 3 layers are especially helpful to understand. The first is the physical body or the physical layer known as the Annamaya kosha. Anna means food, so this is the food sheath. And it's the part of us we can see and touch, and the part we look after through food and movement, sleep, rest, and the way we carry ourselves day to day. It's the most tangible layer, and in many ways it's the base that supports everything else. The second is the pranamaya kosha, the energy body, and this is the layer made up of prana or life force, and it's closely connected with the breath, our vitality, and the subtle movement of energy as it flows through the body. When this layer feels balanced, we often feel more steady, more present, and more alive. Then there's the manomaya kosha, the mental and emotional layer, and this includes our thoughts and feelings and the constant inner activity of the mind. It shapes how we react, how we process experience, and whether we feel calm and clear or busy and scattered. So this layer has a huge effect on how we might move through life. Now, in a lot of modern yoga classes, the main focus is on the physical side of practice, the stretching, strengthening, toning, and helping the body relax. And of course, those things are really valuable. They help us feel better in our bodies and can help us have a really positive experience of ourselves. But often the subtle side of yoga is often touched on briefly or overlooked completely because there's not enough time to address them. Subtle yoga shifts that focus a little. Instead of only paying attention to what the body is doing on the outside, it brings more awareness to what's happening on the inside, especially in the energetic and mental layers. So the question becomes not just what shape am I making, but also what is this doing to my energy, my attention, and my state of mind. This might include slower movements, breath awareness, concentration, visualization, and practices that help settle the nervous system as a whole. So the aim is not just to do yoga postures, but to use the practice as a way of affecting how we feel, how we think, and how we approach life generally. So why does this matter? Well, it really depends on why we practice yoga in the first place. If we're only looking for physical exercise, then working mainly with the body might feel enough. But if we want yoga to support emotional balance, inner steadiness, and more self-awareness, then these subtle layers become really important. Ultimately, the aim is to cultivate what they call in yoga the sattva gunas, so the quality of balance and harmony and clarity, or mental and emotional clarity. And this is what really makes us feel connected to our inner self. All yoga can support that to some extent, but subtle yoga puts more emphasis on that. By working with the breath, working with the mind, working with the flow of prana, as well as the physical body, it helps us become not just more flexible physically, but also more emotionally calm, mentally clear, and centered within ourselves. So really, subtle yoga isn't something completely separate from physical yoga. It's more like a deepening of it. It reminds us that yoga isn't only about the outer shape or posture. It's about the inner experience that it creates. And through that inner experience, we begin to develop a quieter mind, a steadier energy, and a more conscious way of being.